Hello and welcome to episode 47 of the Fertility Rewire podcast. And in this episode, I'm speaking with Sylvia Kang, the CEO and co-founder of the Mira Fertility Tracker. Now, it was fascinating speaking with Sylvia. Firstly, which you'll hear her talk about, what an incredible intelligence and self-motivation and drive she has, and to achieve what she's done in basically shrinking a laboratory equipment into a personal handheld device that you can use that becomes bespoke to yourself. Now, you may be used to tracking your basal body temperature, which does still have its place, or using ovulation predictor kits, which I do encourage my clients not to use, and we'll discover a little bit more about that as we go along in this episode. But to be able to have access to this information, which is giving you a day-by-day result test data of your estrogen, and also your luteinizing hormone, is incredible. And you don't have to interpret the results yourself. The curve, the algorithm is incredible. It's something that I've tried and I'm in the process of writing a review about, and it's something that my clients who are using the Mira tracker, there's a lot we can do with that. It gives us a lot of information, and it can see the results of what we're doing as well. So it's an incredible piece of equipment that is going to have some fantastically exciting new tests available, added to it soon. One of which makes my heart sing, which you will hear about in the episode. And what I wanted to say is there are lots of resources available from Mira. They do fantastic webinars. You can see them on their YouTube channel. And I actually, listen at me, they do fantastic webinars, and I was in one, about how to reduce the stress of trying to conceive. And also I do offer a discount to Mira users in my coaching session. So I offer a 20% discount if you are a Mira user. So if you are and you're listening to that, then that's, I believe, something worthwhile knowing. Equally, I offer a discount code that you can use if purchasing a Mira starter kit. That's the Mira and the Mira Plus starter kit. And if you use the code Fertility Rewire for that, then you will get a discount when purchasing the kit. That's Fertility Rewire, all one word. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and as ever, let me know if you've got any questions. Hello and welcome to the Fertility Rewire podcast, a place for information and discussion around topics relevant to fertility. I'm your host, Kat Stevens. I'm a fertility coach and founder of the Fertility Rewire program. And I'm passionate about people being given sufficient information to enhance their own fertility awareness. I'm really, really excited to be talking in this episode with Sylvia Kang. Sylvia is the founder and CEO of the Mira Fertility tracking system, and I'm just going to go straight in.
Sure. Thank you so much, Kat, for having me. It's really exciting opportunity, for me to share my experience, share Mira here. So I'm Sylvia. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Mira Fertility. So Mira is a fertility tracker, but it's more than a fertility tracker. So what Mira does is the very tiny device you can use at home, and it will test your hormone concentration into numbers. So imagine recently, you're trying to conceive or trying to avoid pregnancy, or even tracking your pregnancy status. You may have to go to the hospital, go to see the lab, and then doctor will do your blood drawing, and then going to tell you how much hormone you have in your body, how is that changing compared with last time, and is that normal, is that best time you're going to ovulating, or is your pregnancy is still going smoothly, things like that. And then now, luckily, we can do all this at home. So Mira sample your urine. So you basically just dip the Mira test wand into the urine sample, and then insert this test wand into the Mira analyzer, which is like egg-shaped, really tiny device. And this device will read your hormone concentrations into numbers, and this number will be transferred into the Mira app. And the app has a whole bunch of smart algorithm behind that. So it will tell you what does your data mean, and also tell you your cycle pattern. Do you have any issue? Is that the best time trying to get pregnant or trying to avoid pregnancy? Or you may have hormone irregularity, or you're improving compared with your last time. And also we're developing new test wands this year, so that will track your pregnancy progress as well. So imagine you finally got pregnant and you worry about miscarriage in the first trimester. Now you can track Mira and track the hormone growth trend. So that will tell you if you have any risk or the pregnancy is going smoothly or so on. So basically Mira is the very comprehensive women's health testing platform. It has the multiple hormones, LH hormone, estrogen hormone, progesterone, and HCG. So all these four will be ready this year. So you can track your cycle status, from even trying to avoid pregnancy to trying to get pregnant, even to the pregnancy status, and then eventually even menopause. So that's what we're trying to do. And then why did I start this? So I have actually have done multiple completely different careers in my life. So I started as a professional pianist. So I started playing piano when I was 4, and then I went to a conservatory. My major was piano, and I went to multiple international piano competitions or so on. But when I was in the late stage in my high school, I realized that I really love science. So I want to, broaden my perspective, not just focus on music only for my life. So, but, that time I was born in China, but unluckily in China, if you're in the conservatory, they don't offer any science or engineering classes. So basically my math level was to the 6th grade. And then I never had any, physics, biology, or chemistry class at all. So I self-learned all the 6 years of science and math classes by myself. And then I applied to college in the US, and I got admitted as bioengineering major. So that was great. I made the first transaction, and then I did my undergrad, and then also I did a master in biomedical engineering from Columbia University. And then I realized that I probably don't want to do research only. I want to see how the science and the engineering can really help people. I want to see the application. I want to, make the impact. So I decided to do an MBA from Cornell. And then after Cornell, I was in a Fortune 500 life science company. So I was managing I started from the product manager role, but then very soon in the year, I was promoted to be a business director. So I was the youngest business director at that time in the company. I was 29 years old, and all my peers were like, average here was 50 years old. So it was that different. And I was overseeing a $100 million of global P&L. So I was able to see, how the product is made from, even sourcing the raw material until post-purchase customer service. And I was making the strategy for the business in the future, and I was managing all the execution. So I have seen the whole value chain about how to run the business. And at that time, I have, so many friends, like especially girls who are just like my profile. They had so much education, and they were so focusing on, doing better in their career. And we never thought about to have a kid. And then I had a really close friend, and she was about a little bit over 30 years old. And then she started to try to have a baby, and she told me about that. And something just happened there, and she was so unlucky and just can't get the results after a couple of years of trying. And she went to see the doctor so many times, But doctor, at that time, I realized doctor is more like for certain disease treatment. So if you have a condition, they can check it for you and they can make sure, oh, your hormones okay whatsoever. But they are not really be able to help you on a daily basis, more like a coaching or like, every day what I should do to improve my condition. So she's pretty much lost. Doctor told her she's totally fine. Her husband is totally fine. They have something called unexplained infertility. But this term doesn't help her at all because, what can she do? What does unexplained mean? Where's the problem at? So she's totally lost. And then after 3 to 4 years of trying, and she eventually gone through IUI. And then now, her cute son is already 4 years old. So that's really great for her. But when I was, going through this journey with her, I saw so much stress. And also, I think this is unnecessary because if you know your body better, if you have those data, and also if you have good coach or someone can tell you, more from a very practical daily basis or even from some experience perspective, what you should do or what you can even expect, right? Even you cannot change the situation. So the whole story will be much easier. There's a lot of wasted emotion in there, wasted stress, wasted money. So then I thought, okay, with my experience from both the engineering science and also business management, is that possible we can bring more data to our users' hands, not just let the hospital or let the doctor control our data. This is 21st century. It's really important to decentralize healthcare. So that's where I started. And then I started with the idea about, okay, if there's a huge lab instrument, is it possible to shrink that into something so small and affordable, and also the consumer can understand what's going on? And that's why we made Mira. So basically, Mira is using exactly same technology as a very big lab instrument in your blood testing labs, but we were able to make it smaller, cheaper, and with the app, so it will help you to understand what those data mean, and most importantly, it will help you to know what to do with that.
I have to say, I'm fascinated by your story there. And in terms of that 6 years of self-learning, I know everyone at the moment, this is a completely aside issue, but they're worried about their kids catching up on what they've missed. I think they can take a leaf out of your book there, Sylvia, for sure. Now, I have a Mira monitor, and you mentioned about coaching, and it's really, really important in terms of when I'm working with clients of me seeing the data, and I rely on the test when they go to the doctor. And here in the UK, they don't often have repeated tests. It's very different to in the US. So I have, you can't see on the podcast, but I'm showing this beautiful little egg, and I've been using it. And I think I am heading towards menopause. So it's been really interesting for me to see this because it is agreeing with what I believe to be the case. So that's fascinating. But also in the clients I'm working with. So the Mira Plus, which is what I've got, will show you your estrogen in the urine and also the luteinizing hormone. And you get your two curves there to show you what is happening. Why is this different to taking your basal body temperature, for example? What more will this give you than your temperature?
Sure. So it's more like, two aspects of measuring the same thing. So first thing I would say is the hormone is the most fundamental thing in your body. It's a cause of everything. So when your hormone is surging, your body temperature will change. So the hormone is the reason. It happens beforehand is the most fundamental thing. And also when your hormone is changing, your mucus will change, your mood will change. And, all these things you're trying to track as a hint for ovulation will happen because of hormone is surging. Okay. And why do we want to track this most fundamental thing? Because there's little noise for that. That's the reason. So your body is like a cascade. You can imagine as a cascade. So if you track the most, the downstream thing, there might be some factors like lifestyle, whatsoever happening in your life, and that will affect the results. But if you track the most fundamental thing, like the most upstream thing, the cause, the reason, it tend to be more accurate because it tend to have the least noise or interference with that. Okay, and the second thing is like the hormone can, especially the estrogen and LH together, can track your entire fertile window. So our ovulation, usually not always, but usually happen around the middle of the cycle. And your fertile window is about 4 to 5 days before the ovulation until the day, at the ovulation. This is because the sperm can live inside the woman's body up to 4 to 5 days. If your mucus quality is good and if your partner's sperm quality is also good. However, after ovulation, there's little chance because the egg can only live up to 24 hours, and then the egg will die. So if the egg already dies, then there's no opportunity for the sperm to meet the egg, so you're not gonna get pregnant. Yeah. So this means if you want to find your all your chances in the cycle, you want to focus on the entire thing. So you want to focus on from 4 to 5 days before the ovulation until the day of ovulation itself. You want to capture this window. However, basal body temperature is surging, is usually increasing after ovulation happens, because ovulation is a trigger, is a reason for the temperature change. So you see your basal body temperature is changing, it's already a little bit late, because you might have already been ovulating and you have about a day or even half day opportunity left. You don't see the window before that. But if you're tracking hormone, especially tracking estrogen together with LH, the estrogen hormone will usually go up about a few days, because it's different by people from people. So some people are like 3 days, 4 days, whatsoever. However, generally speaking, medically, people, doctors endorse this too. So they say if you track both the LH and estrogen surge, you can capture the most time of your fertile window, and that will definitely help you to try to conceive.
Yeah. And I think actually, basal body temperature works really well for some people. And I think what you've highlighted there is the lifestyle issues. If you haven't slept well, if you're worrying, if you've had alcohol the night before, if you're feeling unwell, these are all going to affect your temperature. But the hormone, as you said, upstream, which is what I talk about all the time, that's going to give you that absolute, and it's the curve and it's the rise, it's not the number, and people get a bit worried about what number it has to be, and as you've said, everyone's is slightly different. What I like particularly about it in terms of testing, so if someone's testing compared to an OPK, compared to an ovulation predictor kit, this is giving you numbers rather than a potential, isn't it? It's really powerful, I think, in that sense.
Yes,
for sure.
That's totally correct. And that's very important too, because number one, you see more insights, right? Especially you have a little bit challenge to get conceive. You want to know as much as possible. You're tracking your pattern. You're not trying to find just the day of ovulation if you're really, trying to see the pattern and, have been trying to conceive for a while. So this will give you long-term tracking purpose. And you can see how high is your high, how low is your low. So those are quite important information to understand yourself. And then number two is the most important thing, is that every woman is so different and every cycle is so different. If you use the OPK, if your hormone level is changing, if this cycle is higher, this cycle is lower, the OPK may misinterpret that. And this is because OPK is not a dynamic product. They have to draw a threshold to say, okay, let's say above, let's make it up, right? Maybe 25 microgram per milliliter concentration of LH. This is defined as ovulation. Okay, where does this number come from? It's from a population average. And the population average means 50% people are higher than that, 50% people are lower than that. And this doesn't even consider the huge interpersonal and the intercycle variation for hormones. Women's hormones are probably one of the most fluctuating things in our body. So even you can track your cycle by OPK this once, and the other months may give you something just confusing, and you may say false positive, false negative, and you don't know is that a false one or that's a true one, because you don't have a long-term tracking, you don't see the pattern, so it's hard to tell. And in other words, just to summarize this means OPK cannot be personalized. It's based on population average, can give you some wrong number, but it doesn't give you the detail. So you don't know it's wrong when it's wrong, and you don't know how it could be wrong. So you cannot really figure out what's going on. So that's why we believe that, to really help women, everyone's different. We need to respect this. We need to do something that's personalized, that's really customized, and help with everyone individual's problem, not the population average.
It's I think for some people, especially, seeing the numbers, having that data, having that information is so incredibly important. What about somebody perhaps with irregular periods, someone who perhaps has PCOS, where they may have recurrent LH surges and attempts? How does the Mira work for them? Is it suitable?
Yes, it's suitable. So we will give them, if you have PCOS, you have a different surgeon pattern, we give you different suggestions for that. So number one, you can still track your hormone curve. So that's a reality. That's what's happening in your body, right? So with OPK, you may see positive all the time because your baseline might be really high and you don't know where the surge is. But with Mira, even your baseline is high, and when you have a smaller surge, it's still a little bit higher, so you can see it. And then number two, for many people, not all, because PCOS has different causes and patterns too. So for some kind of PCOS, they tend to surge multiple times in the cycle because your body has a lot of, not all, but multiple immature small follicles, and they're trying to release egg. They're not always successful. Sometimes you don't even have one egg released. Sometimes you do have one, but your body is trying. So every time it's trying, and you will see a small LH peak over there. So with Mira, our suggestion is that if you see the peak, you see it's going up, you may want to try to have sex if you're trying to get pregnant, because there's no way to know this one will be successful or not. There's no way. Even you do ultrasound, you say, oh yeah, it's trying to release, but you don't know it's going to be out or not. And then also you can tell it's like the extent of LH surge. So if the LH surge is much higher than the other smaller one, and that might be the real one. So it's not about surging or not. It's about how much the surging is. So by that, you have to have the quantitative answer. You have to have the actual hormone number to understand that as well. And the third thing is that this year, we will be releasing even another new product, which is to test your progesterone. Okay?
I have to say, I'm going to stop you there, Sylvia, because I want to pause because I am so excited about this and I want to give this its own space. I just want to summarize there with the PCOS. I think that's really, really important. And I think it's a really, really important message about that. And what I want to just emphasize before we go on is that I don't want people to be confused thinking that they have to analyze the results and what the numbers mean, because the app is doing it all for you. They don't need to think, oh, what does that mean? And they don't need someone to interpret it necessarily. And that's really good. But yes, I feel we need to do a drum roll because I am so excited about this, because a huge number of the clients I work with have got a short luteal phase or have potentially low progesterone. And often that's due to cortisol, but it could also be aging, as perhaps perimenopausal symptoms are in place as well. But the plans are, and it's coming, I really want to do a drum roll, we're going to be able to test progesterone on the Mira. So tell us about that. When will it come? What? Just tell us all.
Sure. So that's a really exciting new product for us as well. So progesterone usually will go up after your ovulation. So back to the topic about PCOS. If you have PCOS and you're not sure your body actually was successfully to release the egg or not, you will want to track progesterone. If the progesterone goes up, you see the clear peak. That means the egg has been released successfully. If the ovulation didn't happen successfully, you don't see that peak. So that's why a lot of people who are having irregular cycle and use progesterone to confirm the ovulation. And also another common application for the PCOS are for progesterone is people trying to avoid the pregnancy. Because once they say progesterone goes up, they know, okay, ovulation is down. So as we just talked about 5 minutes ago, if the ovulation has already happened after about 24 hours, the egg has died. So egg has died, there's no chance to conceive. So you're totally safe. So that's timing they're looking for. So that's also very important for them. And at the same time, third application for progesterone is that some people use that to track and confirm pregnancy as well. Because when you're pregnant, not only your HCG will go up, your progesterone should increase as well. If you have any issue with progesterone, your pregnancy may not be there, may not be live or may not be growing. It's a very, progesterone is a very essential hormone to support your pregnancy. You can imagine in that way. So anyway, with all these uses, so we plan to launch another test one, which will work perfectly with the analyzer you can currently buy. And it will also test your urine sample, all the exactly same usage, but it will give you quantitative progesterone. So progesterone in actual numbers, plot the curve for you and tell you what is the standard curve, how you're different, should you be concerned or not, and you can also see your pattern as well. So this is expected to be released about end of Q3 this year. So that will, with the LH estrogen and the progesterone, it's almost going to plot your whole cycle picture for you. So you can see when you're about to ovulate, when you're ovulating, when you're after ovulating, and even about what time your period is about to come. So it was the whole picture from beginning to end.
It's very exciting, very exciting. And for me, in terms of when I'm working with people, I was saying to you earlier, I've seen some amazing changes in curves in terms of the strength of ovulation with clients that I'm working with and work that we do together. But the big thing I'm excited about is to see that change in progesterone. So I rely on cycle length and indicators for that, but also basal body temperature. But with my client group that are incredibly stressed, the progesterone is often affected. And to see not so much how it is now, but to see the changes they are making and to encourage them to still keep making those changes, I think will be really, really powerful. Exactly. So you've mentioned HCG. Tell me, what are the plans there? Is that coming or is that hoped for? Where are we with that?
Yeah, so personally, that's my favorite product because I don't see any other alternative you can do. You can really do that in the market right now. And it's so helpful because usually at least in the US, right? So your first OB appointment is about the 8th week or 9th week. And before that, you pretty much just testing by OPK, like, pregnancy confirmation at home. And you may feel kinds of symptoms from, all kinds of things. So tired, or sometimes your body has a cramp and you may even have some discharge. You may lose appetite whatsoever. And many people are really confused during this stage. They don't know if the pregnancy is still there. They don't even know if I'm sure I'm pregnant or not. And for people who have been trying to conceive for a while or with the 35 years old or above, they worry even more because they want this is the chance to be successful. So we target this period of time, okay? So during this period, your HCG will usually double every 24 hours or every 36 hours. But, the takeaway is that your HCG should be gradually increasing like that. And that's usually a sign to tell you, number one, pregnancy is still there, it's growing. And number two, do you have any, like a special condition such as multiple pregnancy or ectopic pregnancy? You can kind of tell from the, the level of the HCG hormone. And right now, if you really want to do that, you just have to go to the lab, draw in the blood. But obviously, you can't really draw the blood every day. And plus, you don't really see the doctor at that time, so it's pretty hard to get a prescribed blood drawing order for you at that time too. So with Mira, you can test all this at home. So you can it's not only confirm pregnancy, like all the OPKs can do that for you, but also tell you, okay, is this fetus is growing? Is your hormones trending in the correct direction? Is that too high? Is that too low? Do you possibly have any issue? Do you have a drop of HCG somewhere? So I think that's really exciting, because that's that time, about, I think, 15% or 20% of the pregnancy ended in miscarriage, and most of them happening during the first trimester. We deserve to know, and we don't have to stay in this worry and the darkness during that time. So that's what we're trying to do, and these products also expect to be released by the end of this year too.
Okay, that is exciting. Here in the UK, Sylvia, we have our first hospital appointment at 12 weeks.
Even later.
Unless you've had a loss previously, that you can have a reassurance scan. And if you've had IVF, then you tend to have a scan a little bit earlier. But, it can be that you go for your 12-week scan and actually the pregnancy stopped a lot earlier and it's a miscarriage, which is heartbreaking at any time to have a miscarriage, when you're going in with the expectation of seeing your baby on the scan for the first time. And that's when you find out that is hugely heartbreaking. And I have quite a few clients in the US, and so they're going and getting their blood drawn to get the HCG at the clinic they're at, but we don't have that access here, the same way that we don't have that access for those hormonal levels as well. You have your first ones, and then you might have another at fertility clinic if you go there, but that's it. So, it's exciting, isn't it, what the future is for these, for femtech and for the products. And it's exciting to know. And it's exciting to know that this is available in the UK now. The Mira is available in the UK. And I think that's really, really important. I think it's a really good step forward. And one thing I wanted to add as well, Sylvia, is, for anybody listening, have a look, and I will share it in the notes, at the Mira YouTube channel, because there are some incredible webinars. I say that because I was on one, but there are incredible webinars, and the information, I think, is really, really important, and something that I speak about a lot, and it's really good to hear you say, and I've heard you say this on all the webinars I've seen, is about sperm life and how it's important to get that there earlier than waiting for the actual day of ovulation. And I think that's a big mistake that people are making. Certainly when I speak to clients, they say, oh no, it's the day before ovulation generally. So, it's really, really important. So is there anything else that you wanted to add to that, Sylvia? We've talked about why Mira came about, what it does, why hormone tracking is important, how it can help women, and what the future is, what's coming. And it's not just an idea, it's actually in the pipeline, isn't it? It's going to be here soon. Is there anything else you wanted to add to my...
Yes. So I want to add one more thing, which is, I think, I focus on fintech, this industry. I think one thing Mira is trying to do, and also a lot of people also Kat's, your coaching service is trying to do, is to provide our users more solution. So testing is only one side of the story. We started from testing because we wanted to be scientific. As we think all the, suggestion, counseling, coaching, whatsoever needs to be evidence-based, right? So when you know your body more, you can give more detailed advice, but this will not replace the advice itself. So on the Mira app, the AI, the algorithm will tell you all the basic things, but at the same time, Mira is really developing a community and a lot of content, like an article or Instagram account, also, which is also Mira Fertility. You guys can follow if you're interested in there. And also, as Kat said, we have a lot of great and free webinars every month. And those webinars will focus on the most concerned topic, usually once at a time, such as how does vaccine affect TTC right now for COVID? And also we talk about, sex drive during TTC. If you have been trying for a long time, and how do you maintain that sex drive, that interest during about the Valentine's Day time. And we also have a lot of other very common topic, because we believe, we start from testing, but we want this data to be really helpful to our users. It's all about users. That's my goal. When I started this company, I just want to help people. Help people means help them in the way they need the most. They want to know what to do. They want to know what to do for themselves, a personalized way, and they need help on a daily basis. Sometimes they know the concept. I think our users know the concept, but it's very hard to practice the concept. It's a different thing. So that's why they need coaching, and they need the other guidance. They need reminders. They need some inspiration. They need motivation. They need knowledge. They need courses, and they need the group. So I really encourage our users or the audience here, if you're interested, you can follow Mira's the Instagram account, Mira Fertility. We have a tons of activity over there. You can find the link to the webinars over there too. And also you can find, we recently started doing yoga classes, and it was really nice, with fertility yoga to boost your fertility. And we plan some meditation session for you too. We think your body is a whole thing. So, my point is really that to help people, I want to help them in the way they need the most.
No, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. And I'll share all of that in the show notes as well. But it's so Mira Fertility on Instagram, and then miracare.com is the website. And the YouTube channel, you'll find the link to that over on Instagram, but I'll also share that as well. And I do give a 20% discount to anyone who is a Mira user. I'll share information about that. And also I'll share a discount code as well. But honestly, Sylvia, it's been so great talking to you. I could chat I love science, and I love all the scientific evidence behind this and the power that it can give to people. I'm also aware of the added stress sometimes testing can give, and so sometimes it is important for that community and for additional coaching or whatever, but that is all covered, and it's clearly done with care. But thank you, Sylvia, that's been absolutely fascinating, and I'm looking forward to for the progesterone test to be available and the HCG.
Thank you so much, Kat. Thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode, and I really hope that you enjoyed it. And perhaps even it provoked some thoughts. And what I really want to convey through these podcasts is that through information and exploration, we can achieve transformation. And perhaps it's time to tame your fertility tigers. As ever, if you want any further information or you'd like to get in touch or give your feedback, then please do get in touch. You can find me at fertilityrewire.com and also at Fertility Rewire on Instagram and Facebook. And then online resources are also available at fertilityrewire.com.